Welcome back to week 2 of the Relegations, and we'll continue on our merry adventures into the semi-finals now, where we will see Swoop Mcducks versus Salamander Squadron.
Yes, Swoop Mcducks holding Spartyman, who was kicked off of his team, but making it further than his previous squad.
Team, though?
Mollusk? The Mollusk is on. Leftysyndrome in support. Fearno in Hunter, and Jungler is Covi, I think.
Well, there's a team we can see. Salamander Squadron did defeat Squirtle Squad. We'll see how they're going to continue on into this game, though. Do you expect to see a Collie again?
Maybe. I mean, like, iFates played pretty poorly most of the game. Obviously, he had a very good play at the end there, but it was clear nerves were getting to him. We saw multiple times him, like, just jump the wrong directions, get outplayed. I believe he had, like, half of his team's deaths for most of the game. But, I mean, I think now getting through that game, he's going to be much more comfortable heading into a best-of-3. Well,
it is a best-of-3. Let's get into game 1 and see how the beginning of this will play out. Will the Salamander Squadron continue their rampage towards the finals, or will the Mcducks? I mean, that's technically another water Pokemon, right? Mcducks.
That's Psyduck.
Yeah, there you go.
Psyduck and Golduck, right?
Yeah.
That's what they should have named themselves. That would have been great. Bans coming through, though. Alquan taken up by Mcducks. Salamander Squad recognizing, like, this is funny, right? So they don't ban away Janus from Keeg's mate, but they take it away from Spartyman.
They do indeed, and Athena also taken off the table for Swoop Mcducks. They're not going to be looking for their priority. Capri ban here, Robin.
I mean, Robin's still up. I would probably take out Robin, but it's going to be Isis.
I like that ban for the simple reason they get Capri or they get Robin.
And it's going to be Robin picked up by Mcducks. One thing to note too is, like, these are Sparty's best gods by far. He has other gods in his god pool, but his Isis and Janus are his infinitely better than anything else he plays.
Well, he's been shut down in the mid lane for now, but Robin gets through. Salamander Squadron going for the Hou Yi. Chiron was available, but they chose the Hou Yi over Chiron.
I feel like they're going to pick Capri as well. I mean, it's just perfect. It gives you a lot of push paired with the Hou Yi, who struggles a little bit early, especially in comparison to a Chiron pick. They could also go, yeah, okay, it's going to be the Capri. They could also have gone Geb there if they really wanted the cleanse, but I think Capri just offers too much push in that lane, and especially considering that Swoop Mcducks have Robin on board, you don't want to allow Swoop Mcducks to have a lot of early pressure in multiple lanes.
Well, option back over to them. They've already got Robin. They can go the jungle or the solo lane, more dominant in the solo lane from what we've
seen it in the jungle, but it hasn't. I feel like it's just not as effective in the jungle.
I agree.
His clear is good, but it seems more effective getting him 3 or 4 levels ahead in the solo lane and then rotating him out. But
someone who is effective in the jungle is Thor. That's been locked in for the Swoop Mcducks. And will they look towards their support here? I mean, will they look for Geb right now, or will they look elsewhere?
I would if you want Geb, you got to pick up Geb now. Otherwise, Salamander Squad's going to ban it away. I mean, it's just like, that's what's happening, especially considering there's 2 bans coming into the second phase, that they just target stuff out. Chiron's, I prefer this. I prefer getting the most dominant Hunter, I would say, right now in Smite, because otherwise that would have been locked away. And I think there's more options in the support role that you can play around with.
Salamander Squadron here. I'd like to see them go for their mid laner, just because they've already banned away 2 mid lane mages, and they could potentially ban away another 2 more.
That's true.
Swoop Mcducks, but they chose here to go with the Hombats.
I would say if you're going to go for a mid, I would take away the Agni here. I like the Geb take away, make sure that Swoop Mcducks can't have that cleanse, can't have that Geb paired with the Chiron to get him out of his rough early game. Tier going to be banned away on the other side, which seems to be the god. When Robin's picked up, that seems to be the god that's picked up in counter to him.
Sobek taken away as well, which tells me that Salamander Squadron going to look for Bologna here more than anything else.
More than likely
is available as well, I guess.
I mean, with Tier gone, like Bologna and no Sobek, I mean, I don't see why you don't go for Bologna. Or pick up your mid. Probably pick up your mid here if that's what you want. And it's going to be the Zhongque. Swoop Mcducks still looking for their mid player and support. I think Kumba actually works pretty well in this team composition. Yeah, there he goes. We saw over in Europe yesterday, someone play the same Chiron Kumba lane. It's just so much pressure.
Zygox had some good games.
Oh, yeah, he was phenomenal.
But now we're going to see it picked up by the Swoop Mcducks here. They're going to be... Well, and the good thing about Kumba, he's very, very strong against Zhongque during team fights, just using that uppercut to take him out when you use it.
Yeah, Kumba and Naja very effective against that Zhongque, you know. While his demons are being released, if he's taken out of play space, he doesn't have them spread out through the squad. And that's why you will see both gods picked up in response. And it will be the Agni picked up for Spartyman in the mid lane. Salamander, probably Bologna, I think. The most dominant solo laner left on the board right now.
He gets Raven as well is the big key. So what are you going to take about against Raven? I just realized that too. I was like, well, they could go Bologna because
that's why Swoop Mcducks counter Tier, because Tier is one of the ones, one of the few gods in the solo laner that can, you know, box evenly and has a massive amount of sustain. I mean, Bologna has some sustain, but it's not you know, instant and as effective as the Tiers. And they're going with Odin. Okay. I mean, the Odin's going to be very good against Kumba, Chiron, and Agni. Thor and Robin are going to have options to get out here. This Soul Lane could be dangerous for either one of these players.
I agree. I think what we'll have to see potentially Odin here on fineokay. He needs to get hit level 3 and then just look for bird bombs to clear the wave and disengage immediately. And just use the ability to wave clear a little bit quicker.
That's one thing to note too is, right, if fineokay jumps in to clear the wave, Piranha Onslaught is on a 6-second cooldown. He could get slowed, rooted, and kind of chased down and bullied pretty heavily early on. What I want to do is I really want to pay attention to the health potions from both of these soul laners, because that spells a lot, right? You'll see both players poked out usually, but what matters to me is how fast do they go through their multi and health potions? Because if they get forced out early, sooner than they could to finish their boots, it starts getting really rough if they have to TP back in with only boots too.
Well, what Meier says Salamander Squadron at the beginning of the game is ward coverage. They've already placed plenty of wards down in the enemy jungle to keep an eye out for rotations coming round. And you can see the pings here. It looks like Covi is interested in going for an invade early on, or at least for these mid-harpies.
I think it's mid-harpies. I think he's just like checking out where Salamander are. Covi. It's going to be iFates. And honestly, they have the superior 2v2 fight if they want to take this. I mean, Odin doesn't really do too much damage until he can get his bird bomb online. Okay, I don't think they knew what they wanted to do. I think they're going to invade blue here.
Checking more than anything else. Mollusk wanted to make sure they weren't going to come and try and
They're going to invade blue.
Will they be able to get
I mean, they have the stronger level 1. They should definitely take this. And if they can honestly find the blue buff, they'll also hit level 2 very quickly. And yeah, the blue buff wasn't even able to reset. Fates is going to try and steal it, but I'm pretty sure he had already used his overhand smash and a quick lead for Swoop Mcducks.
No experience really on the board.
Oh, he's in trouble. He doesn't have a jump.
But there's Odin to try and support.
He doesn't have a slow.
And just body blocks. Great body blocks coming out from fineokay to help out his teammate. But it's really detrimental to him in this lane now.
And now fineokay and iFates, not only do they only do back harpies, their blue is stolen, and now they're splitting this wave. This is even worse for fineokay. They can't fight this Robin at all.
And Covi's just sitting around here now, just going to try and put some poke pressure on. Those archers are doing a lot of work as well. Meanwhile, mid lane, Thor, Agni did combine, pick up the left-hand harpies as well. They've still got the blue buff to go back into their own jungle and take at the moment.
I mean, it's a 400 gold lead at a minute without a single kill. And now iFates, he's going to get his jump, but I mean, they're just getting out-pressured 2v1 in this lane.
And that's because he's got blue buff online as well, and that little bit of experience early has just really helped him out.
And you can see iFates, he's stuck here, and this is so bad for Salamander Squad. iFates needs to get out of this lane and start farming elsewhere.
Meanwhile, though, this is allowing Sheyka in the mid lane on that Zhonghui to get a little bit more farm than he would have expected earlier on. He did lose the mid harpies, but he's getting solo experience. We tune to the left-hand side. You can see Leftysyndrome did get away from the Abducts in time.
And look at this, the right-hand boars are going to be stolen away by Spartyman and the Mollusk combined. iFates didn't even back under the tower. He actually walked back to the tier 2 through the jungle. And then back. I mean, he is so far behind right now.
The times you see Raven really go off in these games is when he's getting ahead in the solo lane early on, and this is exactly what's happened.
Look at that XP per minute, 247. iFates is still level 2 at 2 minutes in the game. This is when you start seeing players who are very farm efficient hit level 5, and he hasn't even died yet. That's the worst, right? If you take a spill early and you get out pressured, it's understandable, but he hasn't even died.
The benefit is this is a best of 3. And
yes.
The funny thing is they have ward placements too, so they could have seen vision of this potentially being happening to them. Good invasion has really put the pressure on from Swoop Mcducks and put them in a very comfortable lead. Level 5 now is the Mollusk in the mid lane. Keep an eye on him looking for potential ganks.
The question is, where's the Mollusk going to put the pressure on, right? He doesn't need to go over to the soul lane.
I would,
but he could. That's the thing, is that the Mollusk could shut down fineokay even more, allowing Covi to get ahead and start rotating. But the Mollusk, a little bit late to steal away those boars, but will steal away these back harpies early on.
Because the thing about the Odin in the solo lane, it's very similar to a Hades play. When Hades uses steps from below, you jump, you go in, and it's the same sort of situation with Odin.
Fate's going to use half his mana bar, trying to poke out the Mollusk there a little bit. Mollusk going to walk away for now. The Sentry Ward in the mid lane just finished. You can see Kepri rotating over. His Scout is off cooldown, so not going to be able to place one yet. He smartly placed one on the left-hand side, upper left. You can see making sure that the Mollusk isn't able to find any ganks on his Hou Yi.
And you can see the rotation from duo lane here from the Swoop Mcducks as well towards the left-hand Harpies, which is going to be a little bit of a while on respawning, unfortunately. But they were looking to try and get some sort of pick. But there's a big collapse into the jungle looking for this blue buff again.
You know, it's a 1000k gold lead, but this isn't the worst for Salamander Squad. If iFates can hit level 5, they can start making plays and doing something. But this is not. He just needs to give this up because he's he's kind of standing around like, I'm going to try and last hit this buff, but if he doesn't get it, he gets even further behind because he's not finding farm elsewhere on the map.
2 buffs taken off the map. All the buffs go to the side of the Swoop Mcducks for the time being.
I mean, iFates isn't 5, they can't fight this.
I think the big key here, though, is the Swoop Mcducks, even though they're getting an experience in gold lead here, I don't feel they're forcing the issue with still having Fates at only level 4. They can look for a lot of picks with a big ultimate combo.
Right? Sometimes you can force the ganks, but there's no need because what they're doing away is they're repeatedly stealing away the jungle. It's a 1,300 gold lead without first blood down. If they can find first blood within the next couple minutes, that's almost guaranteed to have more contest on the buff, and it very quickly leads to a 3k gold lead.
Well, now, after doing the enemy jungle, Mollusk returns to his own one after going back to base there, picking up full boots and going to pick up the blue buff, well, at least drop the blue buff for Covi on his side, who is still ticking away on the blue buff he got last time, too.
I mean, he's just going to have it on cooldown for now. fineokay. Recovering nicely so far. Only 200 gold behind in this solo lane. Considering how much pressure was put on him, that's not the worst, but it comes down to iFates, right? He's currently 800 gold behind. Most of the lead is on this Thor because of that. But boots are online for both players. So honestly, iFates at this point in time, if a fight happens, he's not that far behind.
I do like what they did, though, did Swoop Mcducks here with Mollusk. They gave him that blue buff from their own jungle. It allows him to stay in the game a lot longer without having to recall and have the extra cooldown that will help him.
Uh-oh. Back Harpy's going to be stolen away, or attempted to be stolen away, and Mollusk will be able to secure that one. It's just continued pressure in the jungle. iFates, he wants to fight, though. Could teleport to Spartyman, but that puts him in a rough spot. He is.
But he doesn't actually get any damage off. Meanwhile, around the side,
Zhong's in trouble.
on Zhong, but now Zhong's in trouble there as well. Left-hand side, Mollusk did get out of danger to Fearno Evil with Juice. He's in the sky right now, but no one's actually dying just yet. Sheyka gets revived nicely by Capri.
Perfect timing from Sheyka, or excuse me, from the Capri to hit that revive, and I like the Mollusk decision to not go back in there looking, because if he died for first blood, that would have been rough. But obviously, Salamander Squad, they can fight back into it. Both the junglers had boots 3. Fates was down a couple levels, but that's not the end-all be-all because Mollusk hadn't spent his lead yet. I love the fact that Salamander Squad was still willing to fight, recognizing that Mcducks hadn't spent their power spike.
It was very, very close, though, that Salamander Squad nearly got the first blood onto Thor, there, onto the Mollusk, and that could have really swung things back once again. As farming continues, right and Harpies are about to spawn, pings going down from both teams, and blue buff getting pinged out again on that right-hand side that the Salamander Squadron will be looking to defend this time round.
Do more online for both mid laners. Something to note, though, is they don't have any boots, and we saw Swoop Mcducks look for Sheyka, and they did burn him, but it was a perfectly timed Capri ult to have him revived, and I think the Mollusk is going to continue to pick on Sheyka, right? If he has no movement speed, and he has no movement abilities, there's no point to not put the pressure on top of him.
And I think that's the big key there, is the difference in Agni does have that escape in his kit.
Which is a lot safer if you delay the boots.
You delay the boots, but Jean-Qui doesn't have that to his name, and he wants to chase people down. He's going to have to rely on the card with the slow to really get off maximum
It's a pretty risky build here, and I think Swoop Mcducks might be able to take advantage of it. You can see Rachetier on this Capri here.
So what happened there from Salamander Squadron? They gave up the blue buff completely, and instead they secured the red buff.
I like that.
That's the right call?
I agree. It's awkward to fight, right? iFates just got his ult online at the same time, but none of the team were in position. You could see Swoop Mcducks looking for the red buff, not going to be able to find it. 1,700 gold lead, though. We haven't really seen Swoop Mcducks extend their gold lead, but something to note is that these soul laners haven't been a part of the fight yet.
But it feels like 2/3 of the jungle have constantly been gone all the way to Swoop Mcducks. Back Harpies consistently, as well as the buffs. That's the first buff we've seen in a while that have gone the way of Salamander Squadron.
And it's surprising to me, honestly, the fact that they're not further behind at this part. Night Juke by Leftysyndrome has his ult, might be looking for the Kepri, and that's what they're going for.
They bursted a little bit awkwardly there, though, with that epic uppercut, so they're not going to find the kill. Mollusk is in the sky, probably they look for the pick onto Kepri, who's now got no ultimate.
And now he's going to land down. It's going to be first blood. The Mollusk finds it, hammers out quickly, and a nice combo, but fineokay. He has rotated over here. Going to miss the bird bomb, but a general reset from both squads, and first blood finally going to be picked up. And Sheyka, no boots. I mean, it's risky to run the Doom Warp first item on that god.
Mcducks were trying to force something else in the mid lane here, but there's no real pressure they can get out. Covi's going to get a little bit of pro pressure onto fineokay, but he'll be fine. Meanwhile, Mollusk heading over to the right-hand lane to soak the experience that Covi has left.
One thing that happened there, too, is iFates has been using his Sacred Monkey so much this game, just to try and get free, like, not even a lot of poke, just, like, quickly auto-attacks, and then jumps out after teleporting. And he's burning through so much mana there. He was on no mana in the mid lane, and if he had Fear No Evil, that fight could have gone completely differently.
Gonna say, the mana cost as well, he is going for Transcendence here as his first major item.
Oh, okay. I think Salamander Squad are kind of recognizing that they can't fight early, but at the same time, I'm really surprised that iFates hasn't gone into Jotuns.
After seeing iFates in the previous game playing that Carly, he seems to be a very aggressive style of player. He goes for the power options, the damage options, rather than survivability and cooldown. He goes for the maximum damage you can really output. I think that's why we're seeing the Transcendence come out of him here.
Like, I don't mind Transcendence on Hunbats. This early is a little bit risky, considering you not only get pin, and also you don't have to stack up the Jotuns, and it's cheaper. I mean, he doesn't even have Transcendence completed. Left-hand side, though, pressure coming out from Fearno. A little bit of poke, and the maul is continuing. I mean, he's been in Salamander Squadron's jungle more than anyone, and Fates is going to jump on top of the mollusk. Beads are forced.
Yes,
Fates
the
has
well,
no movement ability. He's dead.
In. Fates is in a lot of trouble.
He's
Epic Uppercut will secure it. Maybe they could look for another pick with a Thor dunking in there on Mollusk, but no. Stun connects, but does manage to jump to his hammer just in time. Sheyka gets some decent damage out on Covi, but Covi happily tanked that one up.
It's not a lot of damage coming out from Sheyka yet. He has 20 stacks on his Doom Ward, but only boots one, so not a lot of penetration to back it up. Sheyka continuing to take a lot of poke, and Rachetier's just going to have to pull Covi off of him for now. But, I mean, Sheyka just came back to this lane, and he's already this low.
With Spartyman coming into mid lane there, you can see Sheyka backing away, can't really get too far forward. Once again, though, Covi returning to this blue buff that he believes is his, but fineokay. Trying to contest, doesn't manage to find it. Double tap is the one that secures it. It's fineokay. Gets the ring down and the Kepri ultimate defensively, but the blue buff fell.
Mid lane, Snipes coming through. Second one connects. Masterful shot. Is it going to be enough? It's on cooldown for 6 seconds. Used it, I guess, at the start of that fight, but Fearno still. I mean, forcing Sheyka to back at his tier 2 tower.
Yeah, the grouping from Swoop Mcducks here, they're looking to try and pressure mid a little bit more here and try and siege this down a little bit. Only Kepri here to defend, but instead, it looks like they're going to turn their attention to the Gold Fury now.
Fates needs to be careful. He used his jump. Spartyman saw it happen, and Fates is going to be forced off this red, but in the meantime, Gold Fury started up already on half. There's the double tap, and this is going to be free. Fates doesn't even smell it out in time, and Swoop Mcducks, they've got only 2 kills, but 5,000 gold in the lead.
Left top is going to go that way as well. Of the Swoop Mcducks, they're continuing, just consistently extending their gold lead over and over here.
Fates teleports in here, overhand smash. I mean, he has his ultimate available, but no one else to follow up if they look to go on it. And I mean, it's 11 minutes in, and he still hasn't finished this Transcendence. Mollusk has his Jotuns online, and it's going to be really hard for Fates to get back into this game at this point.
Fearno over on the left-hand side, just pushing the wave one more time. He's quite happy over here. He's not really had any sort of struggles against Sops so far. You saw him potentially find that kill on that rotation through the jungle. And that's about it. I mean, this is Chiron on the nutshell. He just dominates lane, and well, I think Hou Yi is more effective if you are very mechanically skilled. Early on, you're not going to be as effective. You're good in team fights, especially with the Suns, but you're not going to be able to outpressure a Chiron. So the fact that Sops is just kind of equal in farm, especially considering that Fearno has a Gold Fury to his name, this is good for Salamander Squad. I was going to say, I mean, Fearno would not really struggle against Sops there, but Sops put a lot of damage out there, did get the purification.
You need to be careful in the one-on-one.
Off of Fearno.
And that's one of the things about Hou Yi too, is like, there's some gods that can fight from behind, and he's one of those gods because he has direct penetration on his Hunter's Mark. Mid lane though, Leftysyndrome, gonna mez out Sheyka, and Sheyka still doesn't have boots 3 online, forced to purification, and a double tap connects the mollusk. He's swinging real hard right now.
Purification timing was perfect there. The stun was purified, but at the same time, so was the epic uppercut coming out from Corner, so they didn't manage to find anything out of that one, which forced a reset there. As we shoot him with Covi, continue to pressure over in the solo lane. Hasn't got much of a lead here that I would like to have said. I mean, gold-wise he does, but like experience, not too bad. fineokay's doing a good job of surviving.
And that's all he has to do right now is when the solo lane rotations come in, he just needs to be there. So far, though, I mean, Covi has rotated on every single fight. You've noticed when these engagements happen, whether a kill happens or not, Covi's there, and then fineokay comes in at the end of it. So he needs to be a little bit more wary with his teleport timings and just when to walk out of lane.
On time, and the Swoop Mcducks have those right harpies ready to be brought
Look at
down.
this. iFates doesn't know the timer on his own blue, and they're just kind of like sitting around here. They don't realize it's not spawning for at least another 40 seconds.
They are waiting patiently for
there it goes.
Just still hanging with the flashing going on. Spartyman pushing in mid lane here. Mollusk is over on the left-hand side, looking for a potential pick here onto Sops. It's going to go up.
Sops doesn't know, comes crashing down the wall. It's going to be weighted to hell. Double tap not going to connect. Berserker's Barrage is already down, but, I mean, masterful shot will finish this one off.
Will it?
Is it on it? Oh, it's on
cooldown. It's on cooldown again. He used the masterful shot beforehand, so doesn't find the kill again. Once more, Sops lives, but I don't think his tower will this time unless he gets reinforcements.
You can see the rotation coming in. iFates is here. He has his ult available, and Mollusk and Fearno, both of theirs are down. Rachetier as well. There's not a lot of minions. I mean, Swoop Mcducks need to get out of here.
They're still hanging faces, just watching them and waiting for the Fearno. They're waiting for the tower to go down first before engaging. Was his ultimate not available in time?
I don't know. Fates jumps over the wall, but fineokay is here. He teleported in, and the mollusk, it's just a matter of time. But Spartyman's here as well.
Good
He's
bomb.
juking out Berserker's Barrage in the middle of 3. Kepri's going to revive. Mollusk on 1 health. Full retreat, and he's going to get out.
Spartyman picks up 1 kill, and now you can see Zhonghui trying to be the forefront. But look at that, the charge in from Fearno, forcing them away again. And they pick up another 2 kills from messy engagement.
That is just... That's emotionally draining. The fact that you catch the mollusk, fineokay out-rotates Covi, right? Covi is still in this lane. He's pushing a tier 2. Traps him in, but Spartyman finding the 3-man stun. Mollusk doing a phenomenal job of juking around all 3 players inside the ring and barely escapes. The Zhonghui wasn't in range for the demon bag, and the bounce shot from Sops
not only did
doesn't
they get
have the
punished
angle.
in damage, sorry, in terms of like the deaths, they also lose the red buff, they lose the tier 1 tower, they lost the left-hand tower when they were waiting to initiate that engagement as well. Salamander Squadron really struggling this game.
Let's take a look at the graphs. Covi almost finishing off that tier 2. Look at this spike, right? 11 minutes. This is only about 3 minutes ago. It's about a 4,300 gold lead. Now it's a 7,500 gold lead. And Covi is just 2v1ing the lane. It's like we're back to minute 1.
Balls are available on the right side. You can see 3 members of Salamander Squadron grouping up to try and get some of those as Covi still happily to sit there, but now surrounded by 4. Has Mollusk, though, who's going to the sky, and Covi needs some help.
There's 4 members grouped up. It's going to be Sheyka targeted. Double tap. Not going to connect as Mollusk chooses to get out instead. iFates, he has his ultimate. It'll blink in by fineokay. The Mollusk, he can't hammer out. It's only a matter of time. Oh no, it's back up already. It's just sloppy from iFates.
Weevil, though, and Mollusk is now really in a world of hurt. Trying to juke out again. fineokay chasing down. Hammer comes up again. But there is the leap available. The bird bomb does not connect, but the wall does the bomb.
fineokay literally auto-attacked before he jumped. It slowed him down. If he didn't auto-attack, that would have been a free kill. Sops, though, in the meantime, going to be pressured out.
To safety, but it's going to get hit by that slow as well. Now reinforcements turn up for Salamander Squadron. No kills after crazy engagement.
How is the Mollusk getting out of these scenarios? Salamander Squad are just on different pages with each other at this moment. Gold Fury has respawned in the meantime, though, and you could actually see a lot of members of Swoop Mcducks hanging around the Gold Fury while Mollusk was getting chased on the right-hand side. But it didn't spawn in time for them to force it here.
Both supports at the moment as well. Wicked also hide of the urchins. They're online. 1 stack for Kumbhakana, but Gold Fury spawned again. Capri knows this is going on, but being zoned out is as Covi's over here. iFates is doing his blue right now. This is going uncontested.
Yeah, Salamander don't even care. I mean, fineokay pushed up the right-hand wave, doesn't have teleport. Sheyka was back into the mid lane. Salamander Squad are just going to allow Swoop Mcducks to extend their gold lead to now 9,000.
Really good position for them to be in. Only 16 minutes in, over 1,000 gold per minute lead at the moment. Best of 3, though. This is like, at least this is game 1, right? You get a little bit behind early. You still have a shot back into this one. Rachetier going to get caught out here. Sheyka and iFates are on the corner. This could be a good fight for Salamander Squad, actually. Goes off, and the revive does hit onto Capri, but he's still in the bomb range. Good ring coming up from fineokay, keeping people pinned in. Fates gets a kill on Spartyman, but Sheyka will fall down to the mollusk. Dunk and Syndrome supporting to pick up Fates. fineokay looking for a leap away if he can find it. Swoop Mcducks disengage, realizing they can't get more.
Salamander Squad was able to pick up Spartyman in the meantime, though. Resetting the Doom Ward stacks back to 25.
But now look at this.
They're going to be pressuring this tier 2, and it's fineokay. Rachetier and Sops the only ones left to defend, and no ult available for any of them.
Bird bomb does go off, get some good poke onto the mollusk, but he gets out in time. The root hits, but immediately ults away. Does Covi from the danger. Fearno really wanted the tier 2 tower and does secure it. And it looks like they should all be able to escape for now, unless fineokay's ultimate is coming up soon, which I'm not sure if it is.
Sops trying to find the bounce shot, connects on Syndrome, and in the meantime, it's fineokay who locks out Fearno. Less Syndrome actually, is he going to get out? He feared too. No, there's no way he escapes from this. There's absolutely no way.
Oh, he blinks over the wall. There's
Please tell me he dies.
Well. He should have passive. He has passive, 100%.
Please tell me he dies.
Jukes out the root. Jukes again. Right. Now he's in passive form.
Robin's here. 1 hit. Okay. I was about to say, like, it's been brutal enough for Salamander Squad with the mollusk.
Salamander Squadron, in last game we saw them up against Squirtle Squad. They had issues with choosing targets. That time round, they should have split the targets, I feel, and they chose to all just collapse on the Kumbhakana. They had 2 people pinned inside the ring at one point there as well.
That's just... It's really unfortunate for them. They just don't seem to be binding together very well. But iFates does have his Transcendence starting to get stacked up, working on that Jotun's Wrath, and Once he gets that online, we could start to see him be a little bit more effective in these team fights.
Here's the problem right now, though, is the difference between the Agni and the Zhonghui.
4 levels.
No, not levels.
No, I can see the item build as well.
No. Look at the gold. That's
yeah, the item build.
3,000.
Yeah.
3,000 gold right? Difference. That's huge.
Mollusk's going to get caught out here in the jungle. Double tap doesn't connect. He doesn't really care, though. He's got Covi on the side. That Bulwark activated right now has a shield on top of his health bar. Mid lane, just a little bit of pressure from Swoop Mcducks, and that's the thing, right? There's only 6-2 in kills, but Swoop Mcducks have done a good job of not overstaying or overextending ever. They've just taken free gold, they found a couple picks, and then they just find 1 or 2 things. They're not looking, you know, to dive towers. They're not looking to force an early Fire Giant. They just want to slowly bleed Salamander Squad to victory.
It's been a better bleed than what we saw last game. When they were against the Squirrel Squad, it was a backwards and forwards of people overstaying their welcome. This time, though, Swoop Mcducks aren't doing that. They're kind of getting out of the situation relatively for free in most cases. There was
I mean, the Mollusk should have died like multiple times.
The last fight we did see, though, it was a good engagement for them when they got the Zhonghui ultimate off as well. But Wall, double tap does hit.
Nice job.
Forces the leap out of fineokay. He's going to be fine for now. But still, the whole team of Swoop Mcducks starting to
He's going to be fine for now. Because fineokay.
He's fine, okay.
Right tier 2 gonna get pressured. It's on about 10% life. Teleport coming in from Covi, but Sops wants to take that. A nice bounce. Mollusk super low. He's being chased out by Sops, but they might be chasing too far.
Did go in very deep for that one, but Covi on the front is now poking back down. Sheyka to get Mollusk, though, eventually with the ghosts. And now the blinking as well from the Humbats with the Fearno. Going to force Spartyman to purification away. On the front line, though, it still holds strong. Covi still full health happily. They're blinking now again from fineokay. Looking for Spartyman, who gets a good stun off. fineokay has to disengage as Covi is still working the back line.
I mean, that was a good fight. Nice stun coming out from Covi. He's being fought by 3 in the meantime. It's iFates on Leftysyndrome and Spartyman, and Swoop Mcducks have overstayed their welcome. Fearno was able to pick up the tower on the left-hand side.
And now he chose to rotate to the fight. Instead, I think he could have looked for the Phoenix, but instead he's rotating to the fight.
fineokay did teleport back. That's interesting, though, because this fight should have been so much more clean for Salamander Squad. Blink in, finds 3, forces purification beads, but Leftysyndrome, question mark.
Think he was trying to force. I didn't think he expected to get burst as hard as he did, but now he's going to pay the price.
You can see Spartyman
We
recognizing.
just gave the Mcducks credit for not making, obviously, the welcome too long, and they just did the exact thing that Salamander Squadron capitalized on last game.
So far, though, I mean, this game is still very close, right? It's a massive gold lead, but the important thing for me is the fact that Salamander Squad can fight back into this. But the Mollusk, off his death, he's going to come crashing down. Doesn't even matter. Fearno has already locked that one down.
And Salamander Squadron overstay their welcome too. That seems to be the story of NA today.
Hey, man, let's live our lives.
Okay.
We just want to play our ranked games in peace.
This isn't ranked. This is competitive.
Oh, this is open brackets.
Get it right.
That's close.
7-5 is the scoreline. Golden experience definitely still in the Mcducks' favor, though, as the left-hand red buff is secured for Salamander Squadron there.
One thing I want to note, too, Salamander Squad could have won that fight. Probably could have won that fight, but a good job of Leftysyndrome. He actually ulted Sheyka the second he popped his ultimate. And now Gold Fury going to be started and finished by Swoop Mcducks.
Sops is going to zone Covi away there with that Ricochet, trying to keep him busy for the time being. Covi going to find out that jungle is all down for now, so just rotate towards the mid lane, continue farming. Level 18, he is 0, 1, and 4 in this game on this Raven. Go for the chin size this game.
Yeah, I mean, he feels like he's tanky enough and wants to output damage. You can see he's got the most in the game. Only Sheyka follows him, and I mean, a lot of that has been poke, I'd say, against the Odin early game, but he's going to be a little bit more effective diving the back line and hurting players, a little bit less effective at tanking all the damage. But Salamander Squad, like, their players are just so far behind him, he's not super worried about that.
Now, if you're the Mcducks in this situation, you've got all the towers down. Is it better to try and group up and pressure a Phoenix here? Are we looking for a pick, or are we just going to try and force him at a Fire Giant?
I think this is the Fire Giant, right? You just finished Gold Fury. You have no more towers to pressure. You've got an item plus lead on every single player. You don't just do the Fire Giant, you just look to bait it like you've been doing all game. Because Salamander Squad have proven that they can fight back into it. And honestly, the Odin ults combined with that Fearno Evil and the Demon Bag from Sheyka, it could get dangerous if you're locked inside the pit.
Level 20s are about to be achieved by most members of the Mcducks, so eventually experience is not going to matter as much. The lead's only going to close. So the gap's only going to close between experience. But Fire Giant seems to be the call right now as Fearno heads over there, starts it up immediately. Who will defend?
Importantly, they forced, so iFates was forced back there. I love this decision. He's going to take a while to get back in it. Fire Giant on half. Two members of Swoop Mcducks are zoning. Khepri can't get in at all.
Khepri's coming in, but there's a blink as well from Sheyka. They're looking for the pick potentially on the Fire Giant steal. Salamander Squadron steal away the Fire Giant. The ultimate is off on Zhongqi as well, but he's not going to get revived. There's a sniper coming through the wall. Will connect from Fearno. A good yawn, but on the left-hand side, Covi is still fighting 3.
Fates rotated back in. Covi's going to be fine, but Fates jumps away, and now he's getting chased down. This is going to be Fearno. They stole the Fire Giant, but they lost 3 players. Double kill for Fearno. And now this right side Phoenix, it's going to be aggressed onto a nice stun by Sops on Covi, but I mean, right now, Swoop Mcducks, are 5 members strong.
They have to be careful, though. They're not all at full HP and no minions here, so they're going to try and backdoor this with fineokay coming in.
This is not free.
With the bird bomb, Sops is here in support as well. Gets good damage off from Fearno. Spartyman attempts a good stun, but the Raven's shout going to keep him alive for now. fineokay trapped him inside the ring, though, and still we're going to see Fearno tanking as Leftysyndrome does fall down. They're still looking for the Phoenix here.
Sops didn't know what he wants to do. Leftysyndrome will revive. Right-hand side, Phoenix goes down, but importantly, Sheyka and Sops still have fire. Excuse me, Sops still does have Fire Giant on him, and it doesn't look like Swoop Mcducks are going to be able to pick up anything else.
Ricochet does not connect from Sops, so they will disengage. Swoop Mcducks get what they wanted for the most part, which was a Phoenix, but they did lose a Fire Giant. Only one member has that Fire Giant.
And all fairness to Salamander Squad, they're fighting back into this. There's a lot of AoE damage in their team, right? Most notably coming out of the Zhongqi. You could see he's the highest output on his team, but it's just not enough. If these other players were if the game was a little bit closer, I think we could see Salamander Squad win these fights.
Mollusk had to ult away there defensively, did just use the hammer, so gets out of danger for now, while the rest of the team just continues to farm up now. Are we just waiting patiently for the Fire Giant to wear off Sops, or are we just happy to keep pushing?
I don't think so. I think you still have a lead. You don't want to allow Salamander Squad to farm back into this. You can see their players on Swoop Mcducks are starting to hit level 20. There's 3 members there. The Mollusk is 1 level away. The longer this game goes, the closer it's going to get.
Khepri is in a lot of trouble here, being body blocked to death now, trying to stop his abduct away. He abducts into the wall to try and create room for himself. iFates does an overhand smash, but it doesn't do anything to that front line. The good news is, though, it will keep Khepri alive.
Going to have a root. iFates just going to jump away forward now, but Swoop Mcducks, they're split. All 4 members barreling up the mid as Fearno pressures the left-hand side, and you can see fineokay has to deal with the fire minions sweeping through the right side as well.
Push over that side, but Faces has just turned up to this right-hand side as well to farm, which should spell when they see those 2 members over there that they can pressure both these Phoenixes.
And I really think that Swoop Mcducks should be looking for a poke war here, right? They have the Robin, who can throw out the root. They have Spartyman on this Agni, has bomb damages, and the double tap from Thor, right? Don't force anything. Poke players out. Let Salamander Squad be in a bad spot.
Wall double tap hits. The Zhong in mid lane, going to sustain a little bit off the minions. iFates still hanging around this right-hand side here, looking to try and swing around the back, but it looks like the Mcducks know he's in that area.
And you can see iFates can't stay over in this, and right now, Swoop Mcducks are playing this very carefully. I love this decision from them. Don't try and force anything, but Alice takes to the sky, and he comes crashing down.
At the same time, a pickup goes off from Leftysyndrome. They're looking for the pick on Zhongqi, keeping him out of the fight. Sops gets a very good ult from Fearno. He's in a lot of trouble there, gets knocked up, but the Sanctuary should keep him alive. No, it won't. He has to use the ultimate to try and fire some shots, but he should fall here.
He's going to be dead. He hits a couple players, and now it's Swoop Mcducks on full retreat. They're 14,000 gold ahead, but it's been the Salamander Squad that have been winning the fights. The blink in by fineokay. 4 locked in. Fearno evil on top. Sanctuary gonna allow the Mollusk to tank up for a bit as he's trying to get out now.
Game of Throws is what we're going to call this one. It's not supposed to start till April, but it looks like it came early in the relegation fight in North America.
You can see Spartyman gets picked up, Fearno as well, and now Salamander Squad, they're going to try and pressure this tier 1, but a teleport from Covi. The question is, are Salamander Squad going to risk it? Right, they won the fight defending their Phoenix, but do they want to force an engagement here in the mid?
They're going to try to here. Covi is trying to do what he can and keep him busy, but it's not going to be enough. The tier 1 tower will fall in the mid lane. A little bit of gold for the coffers there. Right-hand side, Zhong continuing to just farm up and push out those fire minions, because that Phoenix will respawn soon, as will the Fire Giant.
The thing for me is it doesn't look like... We talked about how Swoop Mcducks have been very respectful, right? Not overstaying their welcome. But the thing is, as Mollusk comes crashing down, doesn't find the Fates. Gold Fury, it's low, but here's Covi as well, and now Swoop Mcducks could be in trouble here.
They're looking for the gold instead. They're not going to try and pick up Khepri. They're just going to try and deny the Gold Fury from Salamander Squadron, and they will get it from a good engage from Mollusk in the end.
Yeah, just barely. I mean, that's... they don't really need it, right? Swoop Mcducks don't really need this. They're
denial.
full gold, but it's the denial against Salamander Squad, who are still trying to finish off their builds. And Salamander Squad are winning an item down on every player.
Red buff is being taken by Covi as well. Now just deny it one more time from the enemy. With the Fire Giant spawning, though, they need to do a little bit of a better defense at the Fire Giant.
And the Phoenix spawned, thankfully, as well, just now. Salamander Squad, I mean, they're going to be able to contest this. This is not free. And Swoop Mcducks, I think, after that last fight, recognized that. Well,
they need to position themselves a little bit better. They did use a lot with Leftysyndrome and Covi on the front line, but the CC chain didn't pay off for them well enough to stop the engagement that finally came through. They're hanging around the right-hand Harpies at the moment. And meanwhile, Salamander Squadron just trying to get wards over the wall if possible.
So a lot of what Swoop Mcducks are doing is trying to kill Sheyka every single fight, but it's not been successful because Rachetier has the ultimate to revive, also has the shell.
Blink Epic Uppercut was just used by Leftysyndrome. They're looking for the pick onto Sops. Sops didn't actually burn anything there, just used his leap to get out of danger. That ultimate being on cooldown gives an opportunity now for Salamander Squadron to try and take a little bit of control back around this fight.
Leftysyndrome almost has full CDR, has the breastplate online. It's only on cooldown for 30 seconds, but that also means that Swoop Mcducks probably don't want to fight at least for that 30-second mark. Something to note here is that I mean, look at how tanky this Zhang is, right? Not only does he have his base protections, but he's also gone into the Imperial helmet, which means he has physical protection in the mollusk.
Not really taking much poke there at the moment is the Khepri. They keep going aggressive on him for a moment or two.
It's the Khepri and the Zhang. It seems like they're focusing too much on these tanky targets instead of trying to just blow up iFates or Sops. Probably Sops is the player you want to lock down.
Well, with Salamander Squadron all grouped on this right-hand side here, you can see Fearno's gone off to the left here to deal with Odin and try and pressure the Phoenix on that left-hand side. His mollusk keeps them busy in the mid lane too. Fearno needs to watch himself because he could get collapsed on at any moment by this whole team.
And you can see the Salamander Squad don't want to commit too much to it, though, for fear of losing that Fire Giant instantly. And Sops
gets out of
looking
danger.
for some farm on the right-hand side. Doesn't have max build just yet.
Fearno, though, caught out of position, double ultimate on him. They catch him in an awkward position. He will fall down for a free kill, and there's no response just yet.
I mean, he didn't have a single ward on the left-hand side of the map. I mean, that was just... And that's the thing, too, in that last engagement as well. I don't exactly know what happened, but he got blown up at the start of that fight in the middle Phoenix. I don't know where he's positioning himself, but it hasn't been in the right spots.
Once again, Salamander Squadron survive and continue on into the late game. They get control of the Fire Giant now with that Sentry Ward. Meanwhile, fineokay clearing out the left-hand side, so Fearno can't continue to pressure it.
That's
the Phoenix.
That's the best thing for Salamander Squad, right? Finding that pick means Swoop Mcducks can't force anything. And Swoop Mcducks, they're full build across the board. Fights.
Caught out of position there again, and he's going to get aggressed on by Covi, who should be able to find the kill. If he can, he will fall down. Sheyka's trying to do what he can as fineokay comes in, but a big dunk by Mollusk. He's now in the ring. Good ultimate coming out from the Khepri, though, to keep Sheyka alive, but it's not going to get popped.
The Suns are raining down, doing a lot of damage. Look at this. It's going to be Sops in a bad spot, and Spartyman finds the auto to lock him down. The Mollusk is going to be chasing down fineokay. His jump will be up in a second, but he's locked in place, sent to the sky, and he's going to come landing down and a whole lot of damage. That's going to be 3 players. No! Actually, Swoop, don't chase him out.
He does manage to leap out of danger, and now with Zhang coming back as well as Khepri, they're going to retreat Swoop Mcducks for now. They're a little bit low on health here, so they're going to be careful around this Fire Giant if they're going to go for it.
Fearno, though, rotating back in. He's going to be one that has to do it. Covi and Leftysyndrome, they're going to have to zone the mollusk. Could probably zone 2, but I mean, he's got a lot of penetration in his build. And look at that.
Does hit, though. They're looking for Leftysyndrome to try and pick him off before the Fire Giant falls down. Good yawn comes out from him. That'll keep him busy for a second. There's a groggy strike, too, to keep him pinned in place. Fire Giant is getting relatively low. Can we see a Khepri steal? No, the Swoop Mcducks secure the Fire Giant.
But now they're so low, and the rotations come back in. fineokay, Mystic Rush on top, but fineokay is going to find 3 players locked in. Fearno once again in a bad spot. His ultimate is available, and it's going to be Sheyka trying to chase him down. Fearno, he's going to res. The timing on fineokay's jump wasn't there.
Perfectly timed by Fearno there. He held his last shot on purpose so he would get the res and not be bird bombed the moment it fired. Now the re-engage comes out from iFates with the fit with no evil, but he gets bombed immediately. Khepri is available. They ignore him. Actually, no, they don't. Fearno changes his mind and forces him back. Fire Giant to Swoop Mcducks, and for the time being, they're back in control of this game.
They want to fight pretty cleanly there, but by now, you know, the golden experience lead means essentially nothing at this point, as we see Salamander Squadron finishing off their final items of the match.
I mean, gold still matters. You can see Zhang missing an item there. You've also got iFates and the Odin all still missing items. No full complete items on that team.
Don't risk that.
He's going
to risk it. Actually, might be able to have the damage, but There's
Double
everything
tap.
he has.
But they don't have anything else to really follow up. He's got support from his teammate, though, so he's going to be able to force out the blue buff. Look risky, probably a little less than you think.
He got Purification, most importantly there, and you can see did get stunned out, but he has that Spirit's Robe, so reducing a lot of damage he's going to take after those stuns.
Wall, double tap connects. The wall did not, however, as they're trying to pressure the mid lane. Fearno switched his attention this time round over to the solo lane, the right-hand side, looking for the weakened Phoenix this time round, instead of being over on the left-hand side. But it's a little bit easier for Salamander Squadron to defend for the time being.
This is exactly what we saw last time as well. Swoop Mcducks pushing up all 3 lanes, trying to poke their players, but they forced the engagement with the Mollusk, trying to kill Sheyka. Too much protections to lock him down. We'll have to see if they elect to do the same thing, but it's actually Rachetier taking a lot of
he
poke.
got bursted heavy. Epic up and got hit as well. He's got his ultimate on. It's not going to get killed just yet. Around the back is Covi as the dunk comes in from Mollusk. The revive hits Fearno. Weevil hits multiple members. Mollusk is getting burned. Has Sanctuary to keep himself alive. His face jumps out of danger, but gets sniped off by Fearno as Sparty brings down Sheyka, who was bombing the front side. Sparty gets a double kill.
And Covi is just wrecking havoc in the back line. 3 picked up for Salamander Squad, and now it's just 2 members left alive. One Phoenix down. The Titan's being aggressed on. It's at 5,000 health, and I don't see Salamander Squad stopping this one. Swoop Mcducks win game 1 of the semifinals.
But it wasn't comfortable.
It was not comfortable at all.
It should have been a lot better. It felt like 20 minutes in, that game was relatively in the bag.
And they were like 14,000 ahead for most of the end of that game. And you took I honestly had thought Salamander Squad had finished all 6 items at that point, but still only 5 items online for most players.
Let's go back to the first blood at the beginning of the game, though, because it took a little while for that first blood to finally come online, but it did go up to the Mollusk in the end. We were 7 minutes in with a considerable goal lead by this stage.
I think they just finish off the Kepri here, right? It's the timing. They wait for the ult to end.
He gets Zhong. He changes his mind, goes on the Zhong right in the middle lane with the support of the team.
And he hammers out as well.
Hammers out, gets himself out of danger. So good little pickup by the Mollusk. Had a pretty good game overall.
Yeah, but Fearno, actually player of the game, I guess had some pretty good team fights in the end there.
He had some good snipes towards the end.
I'd say he was probably the reason that Swoop Mcducks couldn't end earlier. But
the snipe was nice.
Yeah, and the one where he revived as well at the Fire Giant.
Too. Yeah, those 2 big ultimates, keeping him in the fight, in the engagement, and getting the kills, very, very important. The chase downs were pretty good from him too, as you can see Fates picked up. So the longer the game went on, the better Fearno seemed to survive.
I mean, it's Hunters, man. They just start swinging late in the game.
And that's the story of the game really nowadays. Solo laners control very, very heavily in the mid game, but when Hunters get online in the end game, they're still very useful.
So Salamander Squad, they lost that game, but considering how far behind they got, such a phenomenal performance. Heading into the second game, I'm assuming we're going to see Robin banned away because Covi was so effective in the early game. I wouldn't say he was more effective than Odin later in the engagement because we saw some really nice wings.
So he's getting very low here. The card kills him. He gets the revive and holds it, waits for the bird bomb, then gets himself back alive. It was good play. Good decision making from him.
Yeah, phenomenal play from Fearno.
But yeah, for Salamander Squad then, for game 2, what do we do different?
Don't give up high pressure gods early.
Such as?
You ban Robin. That's what you do. You ban Robin. I mean, they couldn't fight that 2v2 or because Odin, not very strong at level 1. Hunbat's atrocious at level 1. Thor and Robin, very good at level 1. Yeah. It's like, what is it, like a 30% chance after an ability?
RNG. Anyway, we'll be back after this short break. Those teams are getting themselves ready for game 2. So will we. We'll be back in a moment.